Alright, let's take a look at where we left off last time. We have a character that can walk around, can run, but can't jump. But we have a jump animation that we brought in before, which is here. Alright, so let's take a look at hooking that up. So the first thing I want to do is turn this jump on. So if I right click here and I make a transition and I connect it to jump and I press play, since this condition is not like stifled in any way, when our animation hits 3/4 way, it's going to play. So if I press play right now, you're going to see he idles for a little bit, and then he leaps in the air, and then freezes. So what we want to do is we want to make our character only jump when we set this to true. So let's go ahead and add another boolean and just call it jump. And right now it's unchecked, so it's set to false. So I'm going to select jump here, and I'm going to set it to false. Or I'm sorry, set it to true rather. So now when I press play, he only idles. Okay. So in my code, let's go in here and let's just comment out jump animation code. So whoever's looking at our code later can see that it's just the jump animation. And what I want to do is once I push the spacebar down, so let's say we'll try if input get key down instead of get key, because we wanted to play all the way through, and I don't want to have to hold down my spacebar. So let's just copy this chunk of code here, and I'm going to gut everything in here. You guys can see it a little better. So get key, just to sort of reiterate, you have to have whatever key held down. So for example, if we were making a shooting game and we wanted it where the person has to hold the button down for rapid fire, you would use get key. So for this, A would be that. So what I want to do is just press spacebar once. So once I press the spacebar down, it's going to play the animation hopefully all the way through. But I think we have to set our exit time to 100%. So we'll do that in a second. So let's try this. Let's make sure animation is spelled right. So if input got key down, spacebar, we want to set our Boolean value for jump to true. So let's make sure walk in here. This jump. Now remember this, just sort of reiterate, this jump line here is what corresponds or correlates to this jump in our code. And by saying we press our spacebar, we're actually setting this to true. And again, if you remember last time, this animation object is referencing this controller. So let's Control S here, and let's see if it plays our animation all the way through when I press spacebar down once. Yep. Now we don't have a loop here, and we never turn off our jump. So let's just say that we want our character to idle once our key is up. Let's change this to get key up. Now remember, I'm going to leave this here for a second for you guys to look at it. We're going to set it to false, but we also have to make a transition setting this back to false. Oh, actually, I think we did that already, didn't we? No, we didn't. So I'm going to right click on jump here, make transition, select my transition back, and make sure jump is set to false. Now there's a few other things we have to do, and I'll show you that in a second, because we're going to have a couple problems. So I'm going to hit spacebar here. Oh, looks like it doesn't play the animation all the way through. I still have to hold it down. So let's see what the problem is. Let's see if we set our exit time, add another condition, and we're going to say, actually, when we go from our jump to our idle, let's add an exit time here. And we're going to say we only want our jump to end once it's completely exited this loop. Let's see if that works. I'm going to save that off. I'm going to press play. Hit spacebar here. There we go. And I only had to press it once. He runs. Now, here's the thing. If we want our character to only jump in place, that would make for kind of a boring game. We want him to be able to run, and then like when we hit spacebar, he's able to leap across canyons and all that other cool stuff. So let's take a look at coding a run and jump. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my run code, and let's say, or let's start with our walk code. If I hold the W key here, so let's go ahead and do another line of code, and this is walk and jump. What we're going to say here is, actually, you know what we can do is just, yeah, let's paste this for a second. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to say if we hold our W key, ampersand, ampersand, so that's and. So if we press W and spacebar, I'm going to set our jump to true. Now remember, we have to turn this off as well. So because we have a get key down, we have to copy this code. And we have to say get key up here. Again, we want to do get key here because I'm holding W down. So what we're going to do is set walk to false. We're going to set jump to false. And I'm going to make sure that run is 0 here. We still want run to be 0 because we don't want our character to transition between our run. So let's see if that works. I'm holding W, and then I hit spacebar. And, oh, the reason is, okay, we actually want to turn our walk off. We want that forward movement. Like we want to be able to press W and space, but we want to turn our walk off as we jump. So let's see if that works. No, it doesn't. Jumps in place. You know what? I think I never, yeah, I think we have to make a transition between walk to jump. So what we want to do here is create a special condition which is set up based on our code. So if walk is false, and let's see, what else do we have? Walk is false and jump is true. And run is 0. We won't be able to jump. Let's see if that works. But I think we have to leave walk is true. There we go. And jump is true. So let's change that. There we go. So you can see I'm walking and I'm jumping at the same time. Okay. So that made that code pretty easy. The transition back might not even be needed at this point. So for now, because he automatically comes down to the floor based on this code here, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Let's do a run and jump. And all I'm going to do here is add my left shift. So you're holding shift and W, then you hit spacebar. What we're going to do is we're going to set walk to false and run to true. So let's set this up. Get our, go ahead and hit Control S here. Let's go ahead and right click, make transition back to run. Weird little pyramid I have going on here. Let's select this. And I'm just going to drag this off to my other screen for now. So we have, for our run and jump, that's this here, we have our walk set to false because we don't want our character to walk, our animation. We have our run set to 1. And then we have our jump set to true. See if that works. So I'm running, and then I hit spacebar, and he leaps across the canyon. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save this. And the next tutorial we're going to take a look at creating a coin pickup.